how do we get the federal government to take care of its business? I happen to be a proponent of a single-payer universal health care plan. I see no reason why the United States of America, the wealthiest country in the history of the world, spending 14% of its gross national product on health care, cannot provide basic health insurance to everybody. And that's what Jim's talking about when he says everybody in, nobody out. A single-payer health care plan, universal health care plan. That's what I'd like to see. But as all of you know, we may not get there immediately. Because first we've got to take back the White House, and we've got to take back the Senate, and we've got to take back the House.
My commitment is to make sure that we've got universal health care for all Americans by the end of my first term as president. I would hope that we set up a system that allows those who can't go through their employer to access a federal system or a state pool of some sort. But I don't think we're going to be able to eliminate employer coverage immediately. There's going to be potentially some transition process. I can envision a decade out, or 15 years out, or 20 years out.
Let's say that I proposed a plan that moved to a single-payer system. Let's say Medicare Plus. Essentially, everybody can buy into Medicare, for example. Transitioning a system is a very difficult and costly and lengthy enterprise. It's not like you can turn on a switch and you go from one system to another. So it's possible that up front you would need not just, you might need an additional $90 or $100 billion a year. This is a $2 trillion part of our economy. And it is my belief that not just politically but also economically, it's better for us to start getting a system in place, a universal health care system, signed into law by the end of my first term as president, and build off that system to further, to make it more rational. By the way, Canada did not start off immediately with a single-payer system. They had a similar transition step.
It's a transitional system building on the existing systems that we have.
Transitional to what?
Well, transitional hopefully because the system currently is such a patchwork of inefficiency that over time I would want to see Medicaid, Medicare, the Children's Health Insurance Program, SCHIP, all those integrated more effectively.
Because the Clinton campaign has released a web video of you advocating for a single-payer health care system back in 2003, and they've spliced that together with what you said at Monday night's debate. Let's watch that first, and then we'll talk on the other side of it.
Sure. I never said that we should try to go ahead and get single-payer.
I happen to be a proponent of a single-payer universal health care plan.
Where's the consistency, Senator Obama?
I'm sorry, Meredith, I confess that I couldn't hear very well there. So what I said during the debate...
Go ahead, Senator.
What I said in the debate was that a single-payer system is one that I would support if we were starting from scratch. I can't tell from that clip how it didn't sound like it was very long, so it may not have had the full context of my remarks.
But it said you had never supported one.
If we did, what I've said consistently is, if we didn't have a legacy of employer-based health care, then it might make more sense to set up a single-payer system. I've always said that. I've said that during the course of this campaign. But what I've also said is we've got to build on the system that we've got and immediately provide health care for people who need it, trying to make sure that everybody has access to a health care plan that is at least as good as the health care plan I have as a member of Congress. That's something that I've been consistent about throughout this campaign, and it's something that I will fight for when I'm President of the United States.
I think if we get a good public option, it could lead to single payer, and that's the best way to reach single payer.
And next to me was a guy from the insurance company who then argued against the public health insurance option, saying it wouldn't let private insurance compete, that a public option will put the private insurance industry out of business and
Public option is not your enemy, it is your friend, I believe.
Let me also address a illegitimate concern that's being put forward by those who are claiming that a public option is somehow a Trojan horse for a single-payer system. Nobody is talking about some government takeover of health care.